Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, another film I was planning to watch in my gay movie marathon was A Year Without Love. I remember watching this years ago and being impressed by the exploration of the S&M and bondage subculture in the film, and it was memorable for that. And I planned to watch it again, and then when I went to watch it, I realised, oh, it's a foreign film with subtitles. I didn't remember that part. And I sort of had decided against the films with subtitles because I just cannot sit still long enough to watch them with the subtitles. I have to be doing other things. I don't have the time to actually sit and watch the whole thing. But I ended up watching it anyway. I put it on about 35 minutes in because I just wanted to watch the good parts, honestly, where he first meets up with this couple that are going to be his masters. And I watched it through the rest of the film, which is about 55 minutes. And then, after wasting an hour or so being inspired by the film, I went back and watched the start of the film because I felt bad not watching it. I also wanted to work out how much of it I watched by how much of I missed. And I watched the start, and it's an interesting film. I didn't realise it was based in Argentina. Was it Argentina? Yeah, Buenos Aires. I thought it was German or something. I think because of the stereotype of, the Germans being, and yeah. So I didn't really think too much about that. But what makes the film interesting? I mean, I thought it was about a guy who had AIDS and thought he had a year to live, like in a much earlier period, and that he was basically just having dangerous sex and writing his memoir because he thought he was going to die. It really is just a film that focuses on a year in this guy's life and how he does fear death, and he's writing a memoir, and how he sort of outs himself to his father, or I think it's his father's issues. He's living with his aunt. And it's kind of interesting because it's not quite the film I thought it was, and I'm like, where did I get that impression? Because I read a bunch of reviews and none of them mentioned the elements that I thought were there. I didn't really see, but like I said, I just watched the good bits. I wasn't actually reading the subtitles in the film. I didn't watch it properly, which is why I wasn't going to do a review, but I just thought I would at least compliment the film on the fact that it filmed some very realistic S&M bondage scenes. They basically appear to have gone into real clubs and just filmed guys going at it, and the staging of the actual scenes with the actors were actually fairly realistic. It is a little disturbing, but not. Yeah, they did a good job of it, and it is very dark and very quiet and very moody, and I don't quite understand how this guy thought he was, because he's looking for love still apparently despite having HIV, and how he ends up where he ends up and what he expects to find there is that didn't make any sense to me. When I thought of it in terms of a man sort of just having nothing left to lose and just, having dangerous sex and just doing things he wouldn't normally have done because he thought he was dying, that made sense to me. This of him just looking for love doesn't make any sense, which is what people keep saying is the film is about. So I probably need to watch it again and actually read the subtitles this time. But I don't really have the time. But it's interesting. The main actor is this slim, slightly awkward, dark-haired, pale, sickly-looking guy. The guys he meets up with that are his masters for a while are two sort of masculine Argentinian guys. They're not particularly pretty or anything, but they're masculine. They do the trick, they do the job. And there's one other guy he does sort of fall for, who is much more handsome, much cuter, much hotter. They have a couple of sessions, which are fairly well done, and that doesn't really work for him. That doesn't really work out for him. He doesn't really, aside from coming out to his family and surviving, I thought the surprise was that he didn't die in the year and that he was still there and he hadn't sort of found any answers to anything. Whereas if you look at it in terms of just a year in his life looking for love, I don't know, it changes my whole perspective of the film changes now, sort of realizing that it wasn't a because I'm going to die sort of scenario. Although that's a fear that he has, it's not like this is based in the 80s and it was a death sentence. It was, I think it was a memoir, so I think it was based in the late 1990s and was filmed in 2005. It made no money. It was only released. It wasn't released locally and internationally. It made about 70,000, I think. I actually found it on Box Office Mojo. They had a review, and I was just reading all the reviews that I could find. And since I already had it open, but it doesn't want to open now, I think it made 24,000 in one place, and a little bit more than that internationally. So, but a lot of gay films aren't there to make money. They're there to make a statement or to, record history, and our side of things. And yeah, it's an interesting film. It reminds me a lot of Cruising. Cruising very famously went into real gay clubs and filmed real gay scenes and really captured the subculture at the time, which I think is the most valuable thing this film does and has, is that it does sort of capture some sort of elements of the subculture in that. And it's interesting and worth seeing. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.